bastards out there in TV land.
You started, I mean, the red button is clear to all of us, and you just start whenever, with no regard for the red button.
I try to time it with the red button because I know there's a little bit of delay. So I try to time it that way. The minute this thing turns on, the first thing they hear is rat bastards. Once they hear rat bastards, they know I'm talking about them. These goo gaga heads out there who've been fans of ours for going on, I don't know, 8-10 years. Some people divorces. Presidents have changed hands. Breakups, births, decades, bank robberies. All kinds of things have happened. And I'm here to let you know that it'll be happening no more. Because as of... Hey, man, they said, you do this first. And I say this with so much glee and joy in my heart. As of June 1st, this podcast will be ended. We've given our blood.
Not as of June 1st.
The end of June.
The end of June.
The end of June.
Yes.
That's really?
Yeah, we're doing another month.
Yes.
June 1st is like next week.
Fucks up.
Wait,
no. May 1st is next week.
Oh, right. So June 1st it'll be no more.
Oh, June 1st is. You were right.
So I was right.
Well, who knows? Maybe we'll do a little extra. Who knows?
Mess up my timeline and my vacation plans to the Cayman Islands with my beautiful mistress, Sofia Vergara. You may know her as that saucy Spanish devil from Modern Family, but I know her as Companion. So anyway, so basically, we burnt our little hearts out doing this podcast for you guys, and we thank you and love you for everything you've given us throughout the years. And let's face it, you thank us and love us even more than that. So that's it. It's a wrap.
Well, I mean, if they thanked us more than that, I don't know that we would be quit. If they thanked us in the terms of $10,000,
no, they've given us everything we could, and we've matched that by giving them everything that we possibly can. But guess what, guys? Sayonara. Curtains me, amigos.
What Greg just said spiked my mind a little bit. Here's what I would say. Anthony's not lying. We've been doing this a long time. We love you. We love each other. But we think the Rad DudeCast has run its course. It's going to be over June 1st.
Like the COVID-19 disease.
Yeah. But
Dr. Fauci will be making a statement.
But Greg has spiked my little greedy brain a little bit. That means you have 1 month to convince us to stay around.
God, this guy. Unreal.
With your bill. And you know what talks, Anthony? Money talks, baby.
Just to give you a little glimpse of what it's like to break up with Brendan. He will not let you go. This guy will come out with, okay, but counterpoint.
Hey, listen, man, we will do this thing with zero soul for 100 years if you pay. If the money is right, we will stick around, eyes closed, doing characters that no one gives a shit about.
What an ultimatum these two have let for you guys. But if you reach into your pockets, there we might keep this thing going. So really, the Rad DudeCast is dependent on you and how much you're willing to give.
We would be become such like a bland, like refillable podcast. So it's like, and welcome to Greg's invention ideas. What are 5 inventions? And I'm just like, garbage hat. And it's just like, we're doing the same lame shit, just boring as fuck.
Yeah. I'm just going, that actually doesn't make sense, Anthony.
Brandon, I'm so mad at you.
Yeah.
I'm so mad. What did that? Put the kid away. I'm not.
And I wouldn't even be here. I'd have a cardboard cutout with a little bit of things on repeat. Laugh every now and again. Ask a question. Poke fun. We are being replaced. This is not our fault. This is completely the laugh button's fault. We are being... I hate to throw them under the bus, but sometimes a man's got to do what a man's got to do. They want to replace us with 3 trends identifying Rich Voss's. They've cloned. They've got a droplet of blood from Rich Voss's veiny arms, and they've drained it, and they're going to create 3 trans clones of Rich Voss that are going to host this podcast, and hopefully it'll go on to glowing success. We do have a stake in the company. They've allowed us stock options, but not very much.
That's the worst.
And that's all I can talk about at this time.
I think you can talk about more. I think you can tell us more about what Laugh Button did to you. Have fun. No, I was joking. Did you hear me, Anthony?
my internet cut out, I would have laughed my ass off about that.
We should say this. This is important. This is important. And then back to the jokes. The Patreon will live on because Greg is going to be continuing with a phenomenal project of his own that you are not going to want to miss.
Can I tell you what it is? I know what it is.
Yeah. Well,
feast your ears on this.
Yeah.
So the Rad DudeCast is continuing, just not with Brendan and not as the same name and no Brendan and Anthony.
Yeah,
it's just the Greg.
We have a real Destiny's Child Beyonce situation where someone's star has just gone a little too bright, and they need to leave behind all the debris.
Yeah,
that is not the truth.
The laugh button are the devils.
Now they think that that's a joke, and then I'm really being Beyonce.
No, that couldn't be any further from the truth. The laugh button have been nothing but darlings, the apples of our eye, and this isn't. I'll let Greg take the reins for Greg's own thing.
No. Here's the correction that I needed to happen here. Not that the laugh button is fine. I don't care about shitting on the laugh button.
He corrected the wrong thing.
We need to correct that Greg isn't becoming Beyonce and leaving Anthony and Brendan behind. To do what? More WQAD? WQAD? That's what I'm doing?
WQAD, Seattle's finest.
Oh, I decided it last night, man, because I was like, I got to just jump horse because you know me, man. I can't be missing a podcast. You guys, Anthony, you could be the happiest guy ever, never doing a podcast or showing your face to anyone again. Brendan, I think is
I'd love to live on an island without a phone, with an erased memory like Jason Bourne.
But I'm not living enough. I'm not talking enough in my life, even with the 4 episodes. So Friday Night Greg. Friday Night Greg is going to continue on. This is going to be the new podcast, which I'm bringing back. It's called Friday Night Greg. It's going to come out every Tuesday. Friday Night Energy on Tuesday morning. That's the hook. Every Tuesday morning, you're getting the Friday Night Energy. We got guests. We got refillables. You know what refillables are?
We've got tons of refillables. Greg just says the word refillable and leaves it up to you to understand what that means.
I love
this is a classic Beyonce.
Yeah.
How did you do that to me?
I would love if a late night talk show just advertised itself with the insider lingo. Like, you're going to love tonight. We've got our 4th best refillable coming up. You're going to love it. Which one is that? I don't know. Fucking letters from monkeys. Whatever we do.
Whoa. If you were pitching letters from monkeys before today, I might not be trying to outshine you and leave this podcast and do my own thing.
Yeah. Oh, man. Yeah, no, Greg has got to do, Greg will put up a message before each podcast that says, running behind, soft 10.
Still working. What that means. I need 3 more on this refillable.
Yeah. Well, running behind on alts.
Yeah. Have yet to receive letter from Final Monkey.
Zoo guy's snake got loose again.
Yeah.
But really, I'm just taking a shit.
Contract negotiations with a warthog are going slower than I thought.
But I do think this is important to hit on for real because it's your guys' money. Greg is going to continue with something fantastic, and I highly encourage you all to stay in your Patreon. Greg's going to give you the details on what's happening in the Patreon. I highly encourage all you guys to stay subscribed, but you will have the full month of May. You'll have the full month of May of the Rad DudeCast left to decide what you're going to do. We don't want to fucking mislead anyone like that. I think the right move is to stay subscribed to Greg because obviously it's going to be a high-quality product. We're not lying about that. He is Beyonceing us. Just call me.
This is going to – people are going to think this. People are going to think.
Brendan and I, Kelly Rowland. I might have one hit in me.
Yeah.
No, with the least amount of credits on the podcast, by the way, is the Beyonce. Least amount. At least the amount of success. Anyway,
that's what everyone thought with Beyonce. They said she's too thick to make it.
Yeah,
we see this more as a Kelly Rowland vehicle.
Yeah. They always said Joey Fatone would be the breakout star.
Yeah. The aged bass of that wonderful band.
And look, I got to do my pitch here. I got to I got to get these guys. I got to keep these people. I got to keep leeching these suckers for every penny they got. Everything on the Patreon is going to remain the same. So you'll get the same amount of content. You just won't get Brendan and Anthony. You might. They might come on as guests because,
I live pretty close by, and who knows if I'm walking to the park and Greg hits me up, maybe I'll stop in I'll do a pop in, as we say.
Yeah, or you might. Yeah, every episode is bit off more than I can chew. Gonna take up another hour. No, but I'm pretty good at getting things out. But it's gonna the tiers are all gonna remain the same. It's just gonna be like the produced episode is gonna be more. It's gonna be. I don't know how to sell this. I feel weird.
Well, can I put it in musical terms? Destiny's Child was pretty good. They had some hits with Bugaboo and others, but
Scrubs.
Damn it. No, that's TLC, you racist.
That was a great song.
Not even the that's called No Scrubs, you Midwestern racist.
No Scrubs.
You couldn't delineate between,
I don't want no scrubs. A scrub
is a guy can't get no love from me.
This is why I quit.
Hanging out the passenger side of your best friend.
This is why the podcast is over.
Trying to holler at me.
This and because Brendan fucked Tita. That I didn't want to bring up.
We didn't want to say it. We didn't want to say it.
Okay.
We had the baby, and it looks just like Brendan.
Yeah,
got a touch of Asian in there. There's no Asian in this kid.
How did he get a rope in the sonogram?
let me if we're being honest, let me spell out the downfall of the podcast for you guys.
Brendan,
and this
please.
all
Stop listening.
that's
when it took off. That's actually
that killed us. Guy thinks being a veterinarian is more important than being the #1 Rad DudeCast.
Exactly.
Yeah, great.
What are you gonna? Dogs still die. So what kind of job have you done?
Yeah. This is what it truly happened. Is that and this all happened. We did not know this, and it all happened the same night, and we've all found out concurrently. Greg fucked my wife, and she said it was by far the highest level of pleasure she's ever had. She said she's never been with a
I brought my
man.
hooks.
Meanwhile, that very same night, we thought Greg was doing a casino gig. That was his lie. I flew to New York. I had sex with Tita. Anthony then also had sex with my wife after Greg, in which case Greg had sex with Julia and Julia had sex with Tita. So it's a real love quadrangle. A pentagon of love, of lust, and everyone's cheated on everyone's wife here.
And it should be noted that the podcast isn't ending because we're mad. It's just because we found so many more pleasures that it's like we're just becoming a triumphant group of sexual partners, and there's no time to do the Rad DudeCast anymore.
I have no spare minutes for all my orgasms. I can't stop the flow to do this podcast anymore. I've become a man of such erotic nature that this thing is a burden on my lifestyle. And number two, I have been tapped to play Sub-Zero in Mortal Kombat 2 Destructicon.
Why didn't you tell me? I knew you were hanging around cold as hell for a week. You were practicing for something.
Yes, and I froze myself much like David Blaine famously did, but in my girlfriend's sister's freezer for the past week to prepare. And I've it's not on deadline just yet, but I feel like I owe it to you guys to say something. I'm doing a major breach of contract here. I signed a quite hefty NDA, but I don't care. I need you to know.
Now, sorry, you ended it and I wasn't ready to laugh, because I was drinking a cup of coffee and then there was just a silence.
I don't care.
No, but
it's serious money. You can be serious.
Yeah. I just think you know what it is? This is the point I wanted to mention. What's kind of funny to me is that, like, to some people, they're probably upset that the Rad DudeCast is ending, but we're not upset because we're all still friends. So the Rad DudeCast is going to continue for the three of us. Just no one else gets to see it anymore.
No, how it originally was for the first 2 years before we decided to record anything. And also, they might be upset, but we're also not upset because we hate doing it. So that's
well.
I never hated doing it.
I think
I was exaggerating. I don't like the Zoom. I don't
really
like the Zoom.
That really hurt my feelings.
Did it? I never hated doing it. I liked doing it. I was trying to make a joke.
Man,
that was too far. That's too far.
That's too far, man.
How would Steph Curry ever know he could hit a shot from the logo if he didn't try? That was a great attempt, Brendan. The truth of the matter is, The Zoom killed us, man. We burnt ourselves out by doing 400 episodes on Zoom. We can't look at our own faces anymore, and it needs to end because of that. Yes, to what Greg's point, man, we've done this for 8-10 years. We've absolutely loved doing it, and we're still friends. And I think that's a lot more than you could say about most. Look what happened to Fall Out Boy. Those poor what Pete Wentz did to Patrick and those poor fucks. And don't think I don't know, because I'm reading a book about music, and this guy wrote an essay about Fall Out Boy, and I've gone back to their catalog, and guess what? I don't like them still.
Yeah, Fall Out Boy was a ripoff of.
But
there's other.
Yeah,
sorry, I'm very personal about this stuff.
Oh, they're a ripoff, and my God, the importance of My Chemical Romance is the Black Parade, man. You've got to. I'll talk to you no end about that, but I'm sure I'll bore you to tears.
About? What are you talking? The fuck are you talking? What book are you reading? What the fuck are you talking about?
I'm reading a book about the importance of emo, and I've come around. But what I'm really trying to say is that I think that's not something a lot of people can say that have done something for this long together. So I'm happier about that than anything. And we've loved making the show for you guys over the years. But if you want to blame somebody, fucking go to the founder of Zoom and beat him to death with a bat.
Yeah, well,
that's what happened now.
I'll tell you this. I will say this. This is something I've always been extraordinarily proud of. We'll shoot straight with you guys. We try and tell you we're the biggest podcast in the world. We're not. We're a mid-sized podcast. We're a mid-sized podcast. Most 98% of podcasts out there. 98% of podcasts out there don't make money. We make a little bit of money. We do all right. And so we're a mid-sized podcast. But for a podcast that's three guys that aren't famous with no fucking theme and a literal rule against having guests unless they're chingy, we might be the biggest podcast. Might be the biggest podcast of three guys with no theme and no guests. So... and that aren't famous.
And we've been ripped off a lot.
Yeah.
We never really made mentions. We never mentioned about it. Well, we had our eye on you. And you son of bitches out there trying to do the Rad DudeCast, but you just couldn't. You didn't win this.
Yeah. We've been taken to the cleaners by imitators who've thrived.
Everyone
building upon what we've tried to erect.
Everyone who tried to rip off the Rad DudeCast within 3 weeks was like, we need guests because no one likes this. And not us. Not us.
Yeah, they were like, we need guests.
Most of those people got very famous. But did that stop us from the course? Never.
They went, if we got guests, we could probably bring in a whole lot more audience. And hey, don't think we didn't think of that. We thought of that. But we still went, nah. We'll get Chingy once and Adam Conover, and that'll have less views than most of our stuff.
Here's the thing. The court ain't big enough for the three of us. You want to add a fourth? We said no to John Starks.
Yeah.
That's the truth.
Yeah, I don't know if you know that, Brendan. This guy called me. It was John Starks' guy and was like, hey, I'm trying to get John Starks on a podcast. He always calls me every month and is like, I got these guests.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, they talk to you, which is the best.
Yeah. He's like, he goes, do you want the bass player from Buckcherry? Because I got him. And I go, and I have to choose between which ones we can do. And we got Chingy, but John Starks was up, and I don't know why that didn't go through. I think I did push for it. I think I said no.
Well, here's what happened. Because he knew me from People Talking Sports.
Right.
But I think we responded with like, John can't wait to talk Knicks with the Rad DudeCast. And I think I might have emailed back and been like, our podcast barely touches upon the Knicks. We almost never talk sports. And then I think he was like, this might be an issue for John. Mm-hmm. And then it kind of just fizzled out from there, unfortunately.
We talk more about the Nick TV show, and we've never talked about that.
Yeah.
And it's neck and neck.
I don't know if you guys remember this. This episode actually got deleted, but one of the all-time greatest episode we ever did was the head guy from Silverchair. Remember him?
Yes.
He was fantastic, and that the audio got lost on that thing. But man, did he have a lot of insights on Australian sort of pop rock, in that being a Australian Kurt Cobain ripoff.
He had a solution for climate change that was only documented on this podcast. Because famously, since then, he was what's called where he lives in Australia. It's called a hammer shower, where it's just it starts raining hammers down there because somebody gets upset about something. So he was the unfortunate victim of a hammer shower. So he's not able to speak as fluently as he once was. But my God, did that have a perfect solution for climate change?
And I ran the numbers, and it worked. And I was like, yeah, this is why. I was like, I remember because he was typing, and I remember you guys were, Greg, why weren't you talking that episode? And I was like, because I was punching in the numbers about his climate change thing, and it worked. But then when it got deleted, I just couldn't. Not that I couldn't remember. If I should have just wrote that shit down, but I got kind of lazy.
Yeah.
So
we were so in awe in the moment. Impossible to write it down. We're so struck by it.
I think the lead singer. We're gonna have the lead singer of Silverchair on. We're gonna talk all Silverchair, and this guy just came on screaming about climate change, and then actually had an answer.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I guess that's what he had been doing since not making music.
And boy was my face red, because right off the bat I go, listen, buddy, if we wanted climate change, we could have got Greta Thunberg. And little do I know, this guy had all the solutions. I don't know. It involves something to do with rocking out so hard on the polar ice caps to prevent them. They would melt so quickly that they would refreeze, saving the world from the rising water levels, and the Indonesians didn't have to move.
Yeah.
Yeah. It did have a lot to do with music.
Yeah.
This is another thing that gets me really crazy. Speaking of climate change, why is Sub-Zero a fighter?
Love
if you
to
could
answer
turn
this.
things to ice, for your role, you should probably
Sure.
go over this. If you could do this, why wouldn't you just work in like a restaurant where you can keep things cold, or go to the Antarctica and reform the polar ice cap? Why is fighting the thing you do if you can be frozen, if you're a master of freezing?
Oh, well, that's simple. A simple answer. It's Sub-Zero's tragic backstory. Because I don't know if you know, this is how Sub-Zero got his powers. His mother, they were shopping one day in a grocery store, and his mother went inside the freezer to get a little bit of Elio's pizza for old Subby, and
Sure. Yeah.
but locked from the inside.
As they often are.
They were, because what happened? This particular store they had such a problem with theft, especially with the freezer department.
Elio's pizza theft.
Because with America's opioid crisis, people were just trying to get their hands on everything. So this woman was locked from the inside in the freezer, and all the employees were so negligent at the store. So Sub-Zero watched his mother freeze to death. But in that freezing, there was a transference of power, and Sub-Zero became someone who's able. He was like, if I could only control the cold, my mother would live to this day. So he willed himself to be able to do that. But he fights. He's not fighting Scorpio. He's not fighting Borghead.
Scorpio. The Cancer. And Gemini. The three fighters.
He's not fighting Jack Cage.
Don Scorpio.
He's using what killed his mother to kill others, and it's so poetic. It's like it's not to be too much, but it is like a Robert Frost poem.
I'd also like to backtrack just a second.
If it's not about Sub-Zero, don't backtrack.
It is about Sub-Zero.
Okay, good. Just making sure.
It's
'Cause
about
there's meat on this bone.
It's about your complaint about Sub-Zero, which half of it made sense, because you go, why is Sub-Zero fighting? He could be working in a restaurant or saving climate change.
Like Silverchair.
And it's like, the working in this climate change, great idea. The working in a restaurant, he's doing better than that. You know what I mean? He's an international.
This guy could be a waiter with his skill set.
Underground fighting, not for money, grants you no money. But as a TGI Fridays waiter who brings a soup and then freezes it and goes, there's dessert, French onion soup cream, people will lose their shit. You're getting a big tip. You know, you bring them warm water and they go, this isn't warm. And you go, and then you chill out their beer. Dude, you're going to make good tips.
He brings up I hadn't foreseen this. This is the foresight of Greg, where he saw how Sub-Zero could use his superpower, basically, to become a better waiter.
A gimmick waiter.
A gimmick waiter. A job that most people have on their way to something which they actually want to do. Sub-Zero Sub-Zero could use honed powers that we've never ever seen before in this world to have a minimum wage job.
Yeah, well, how many people at a TGI Fridays are throwing half of a scissor with a rope at your chest? Not many, so I would choose that over fighting lizard and cabal.
Well, he wish he could, but he can't. If he could get over the death of his mother, he could stop fighting, but he can't.
I also want to add this, and this is just a personal note from the moviegoer that is Greg. What you said
Yes.
is 500 times better than the movie. I watched that movie, and I would much rather watch Sub-Zero fighting someone in the Food Town Frozen department to save his mother than a movie about a fighting tournament where there is no fighting tournament. I don't know if you saw this. There's no Mortal Kombat in it.
I haven't seen it yet. I'm so excited.
And, okay, spoiler alert. Look, it's such a bad movie that it's hilarious.
Yeah.
Shang Tsung is the bad guy. This is how they end the movie. Shang Tsung goes, "See you later." That's it.
like a Looney Tunes cartoon. That's all, folks.
Literally, they go, "Here we are, Shang Tsung. Time to take you out." And he goes, "Not today, fellas." And then a helicopter flies him away. It's crazy.
Like the end. It's like the end of one episode of G.I. Joe. You know, like.
And they just go, "No, we'll get you next time, Shang Tsung." And they shake their fist at him. And they never enter the Mortal Kombat, by the way. It should be noted.
Wow.
They never enter the tournament of the Mortal Kombat.
What balls do you have to be?
I'm gonna finish it. I made it through about till Jax fell down.
Wait, before you get to this, just before you go over this, I'm so sorry. This could be the produced episode. We could all just watch Mortal Kombat and do the Mortal Kombat review.
True.
But now go ahead, Brendan. But I'm just saying, keep that on the list of your brain.
So I'm gonna, I say we do that. But anyway, so I won't say. I got like 10 minutes in the movie and I was like, this is fucking terrible. I actually liked the old horrible Mortal Kombat better because at least that was a tournament. At least I felt like this is like a weird, shitty blood sport. This is like if Bloodsport was a cartoon, and Bloodsport already should have been a cartoon. But I will say this: I was sitting at the bar of the comedy club in Tulsa where I'm performing, and I didn't know. Here's two facts I didn't know. I didn't know that there was a new Mortal Kombat movie coming out. And I did not know that there's like this giant bowling alley arcade like entertainment center next to the club. I did not know they had a movie theater. So those were two facts I did not know.
Too fun. That's two great things.
And so I'm sitting at the bar and there's a window behind the bar, and in the window I see Scorpion and Sub-Zero walk by the window, and I do like a fucking triple take, and I go to the door guy. I go, "Hey man, Mortal Kombat just fucking walked by. You gotta be on point. I don't know what kind of situation this is. We got two guys, two little fellas dressed up as Scorpion and Sub-Zero wandering the parking lot." And he goes, "Oh, there's a Mortal Kombat movie coming out, man. They're dressed up." And I go.
Yeah.
And Brendan goes, "Cancel the Late Show."
Yeah. Well, I'll be honest. Like, I thought they banned that after the whole James Holmes thing. Like, I didn't know you were still allowed to wear costumes to movies. But, because guy, he dressed up as the Joker and then killed everyone, a la Joker.
Oh, that's right.
There's no evidence.
Greg.
I'm just saying that there is no evidence to support that whatever you're wearing isn't what you wear all the time, right? There's no evidence to support that. So if I show up to a Mortal Kombat movie and they go, "You can't come in here dressed like Guru," I will say, "Guru is how I am." And yeah, you're offended me. I'm Mr. Guru.
I love that. I is Guru.
Yeah. I've been Guru.
This whole time. I stay Guru.
I am Motaro.
Yeah,
that's a deep cut.
I come to Mortal Kombat movies dressed up like Guru from Gangstar, and that's how I do it. Yeah, sure, there's a guy over there dressed like Goro, but that's not for me.
Yeah, is Goro the guy with the big multiple arms?
Yeah,
4 arms.
I should probably know this going into my script. Goro has what a funny Halloween costume to dress as Goro, and you just leave the other arms limp.
Like you had a stroke.
Yeah. You use your two arms and you obviously attach the other ones, but they're just kind of floppy at the side.
You do the rope thing where you rope him the other and you go, hey, buddy, and you're just like going the same.
You could do that. Okay, there he is. Oh, he's got two other guys. Okay.
Here's the thing: he's got 4 arms, but 1, 2, 3, 3, 6, 9, only 12 fingers. That's where you don't see. He's got 4 arms, but he doesn't have a lot of fingers. This guy's got 3 fingers on each hand. You know, he's
great point.
If I had drawn Goro, I would have given him 50 fingers on each hand and 4 arms. I was like, this guy's the ultimate. I wouldn't take anything away from him.
Sure.
What if Goro's arch nemesis was like, Fingy, who only had 1 arm coming out of his chest, 1,000 fingers?
That's
That's a little
fight.
very weird.
Tough fight. Yeah.
Very weird looking. What you're saying scares me.
It's scary, but I'll tell you, man, no one gets a screenplay done like Fingy.
I always love when they make a monster and they're just like, it's a giant tongue. And you're like, what weirdo did this? They're like, yeah, it's a tongue-based monster. You know, it's like it's wet and it's going to try to sex you. And I'm like, just give it goddamn spike arms. You know?
Yeah.
You know, usually those things usually come from some like heady thing from the writer who's just like, this monster represents my mother's consistent nagging. It's just a giant tongue killing people.
Yeah. Dude, I don't know if you remember Alien 1, but Ripley is like her nips. She's like kind of almost naked, even though maybe in her underwear. And the alien comes out, and the alien is like kind of trying to fuck her. And you're like, Mr. Sean Connery, or whatever the director's name is.
Ridley Scott.
Ridley? No, it was Cameron Diaz.
That's
Cameron
right.
Diaz.
It was Cameron Diaz who went from directing Alien to starring in The Mask.
No, James Cameron.
No,
it was Ridley Scott.
Alien's Ridley Scott.
No.
Fine. But for the sake of just, this is a fact, but I don't want Greg to feel bad about himself, so I'll have to just say yes.
Yeah, like a child that runs the house.
Yeah.
No, Ridley Scott did not do Aliens.
Yeah.
Just let him think that, or he'll never go to bed.
Yeah.
Right. Like, I don't know what Greg's going to get out of this, even for a bit, for it to be James Cameron, but sure, it's James Cameron. If that'll make you happy, little guy.
James Cameron made this alien want to fuck Ripley. Also, here's why your answer is dumb, you two. This is why you're so dumb. If you're Ridley Scott, are you going to name the main character Ripley, which is so close to your name? Because then everyone's going to be like, Ripley, and like, Ridley, who are you talking to? It's a nightmare as a director on a director's scene.
Right.
Evidence proven.
Yeah, case closed. James Cameron, slide that Oscar over the table, Ridley Scott.
Did he do any of the aliens?
He did not. Maybe he does Aliens, but maybe. I don't think so, though, because James Cameron's like famously not taken on a lot of projects if they're not complete James Cameron vehicles. He's such a maniac. I read one article about this guy years ago, and I obviously haven't retained all of it. But what he did for The Abyss, he built he filled an airport hangar with water. It's some crazy thing that it's like the city was like, if we ever found out about this, we would have arrested this guy. He's such a crazy person.
Just a heads up. I looked it up. And Alien, Alien was directed by Ridley Scott, but it was written by Dan O'Brien. No one knows who this guy is. Twice, too. It says twice. Dan O'Brien did 2 takes on that.
It's so funny.
So let's say Greg was half right.
I think like the greatest, unless you're either an actor or a writer or a director and a writer, nobody fucking gives a fuck who you are. And the thing is, you're the guy that made the movie the most. You invented the movie, and it's like, fuck you, you're nothing. Like, Ridley Scott brought this thing to life, and you're like, I wrote everything he did. There was very detailed instructions. He just had to turn the camera on.
It's like if Grammys were given to karaoke singers. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it was like, get out of here, Green Day. I got Louis Oki over here who's doing this thing. He's the bee's knees on this thing.
Yeah. The director, he sits in his chair eating a wheel of cheese, and he goes, make the alien crouch a little bit. And then this guy is up there thanking God in front of millions for his award he received. Meanwhile, that's why I love Mink. If I could just pivot to the movie Mink, that's why I love Mink so much. A movie after my heart, because it follows the real brains behind Citizen Kane, which is the lovable something Minkowitz.
This is what I love. I love a ballsy director who goes, not only am I directing, I'm starring in. And I want to see those other actors when he goes, Greg, you gotta give me more. And Greg is like, I don't have any more. And then Greg is like, you son of a bitch, you're gonna do the best. And then to the right, Chris Hemsworth is like, mate, this guy's got problems. And it's just a guy screaming at himself for an hour.
This is a great sketch. A Christian Bale-like meltdown, but it's about himself. That's the reveal.
Yeah. Mate, this guy's caught in a hammer shower.
And don't even bring... you're lucky I hired you, Greg, with all those allegations about... This was supposed to be your comeback. But you said you wouldn't bring it up, Gregory.
That's so funny. It devolves into different voices. That's great. That's a funny sketch. Mike, write that one down for Greg's Patreon. Greg will be performing all the sketches we meant to do on the Rad DudeCast.
Cut. Don't fucking cut when I'm hot. Don't cut when I'm hot.
So funny.
Well, this really just brings me into my next segment, and we can come back to aliens whenever you want, because this is just going to be a quick thing you guys will call me stupid for, but I think is great. Man, if you think... Oh, I got to pitch you two things. One, this sketch that I said very high to Tita, Dan Shacky, and Ariel, and I looked at Shacky, and I looked at Ariel, and I said, you didn't even crack a smirk for that. And when you stared at me blankly like crazy, I'll just tell you that. So I was very high, and I walked into this is probably not funny. I'll get two smirks from you guys now. I came out, I said, guys, I got a sketch idea. They went when I go, guy walks into a house and he goes, this place smells like a Chinese whorehouse. And then some other one goes, that's right, Chinese whorehouse, the scent of America. And so this guy is trying to sell the Chinese whorehouse scent to make every place smell like a Chinese whorehouse. And that's all I got really so far. It's a room smell that smells like a Chinese, but I don't know what a Chinese whorehouse smells like, if I'm being honest.
Sure.
I do.
Rice. It does. There's always a. Well, I've only ever been to one by accident in Atlantic City. We all know my tall tale. Rice. Unfortunately, there's a rice cooker there.
I've been on tons on purpose, and Anthony's right. They're living in there, so you've got a little bit of rice. Then they try and infuse that. They try and cover that up with incense. So it's a rice, incense, cheap perfume combination. And buddy, if that's not the smell of America, I don't know what the fuck is.
Yeah,
so
right.
That's a sketch right up my alley.
Well, the idea of the smell. Go ahead, Anthony. Sorry.
I was going to say these are two people who are out of touch with real America. Ariel and Shacky. These are two Hollywood phonies who think they've got their finger on the pulse, but don't. You're 100%. Not only is it funny, it's tugging at the heartstrings of who we are as a country.
And the idea of the sketch is that you spray this on yourself so that when your wife goes, why do you smell like a Chinese whorehouse? You go, that's my scent, babe. I paid for that. This is a Macy's smell, right? So it's like, you always smell that way. And then you go in. You don't. No one knows. People can't get you on a smell when you just smell like a Chinese whorehouse.
Hey,
Mike,
on a smell.
Right? This one down. That's another sketch of the bank. We got two for Greg to do on his wonderful new Patreon that he'll be selling. And that's why he's the Beyonce of the group, folks. It's ideas like that. That not only is that not just an idea, that's a fully delivered sketch. My God, you practically even shot the thing.
This one's going to be part 3.
Okay.
This is part 3. This is the part 3 sketch of the Greg Stone Sketch Show. This one I like to call Pizza Juice. Okay. This is you get the best hand squeezed pizza juice, and it's just people squeezing pizzas in the juice, and you go just because you never want a pizza but you don't have the time, you gotta drink a pizza juice. And then you find out that really pizza juice is made in the Bronx with a bunch of Italian slaves who are being molested in the basement by this company, Pizza Juice, right? It's some Greek guy. He's not even Italian. He has been keeping Italian slaves. As we know, the Italians are constantly being treated worse than any other minority, and that's really what this sketch shines the light on.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. So it's just a bunch of Italians making sauce in jails for no pay, squeezing pizzas so that the fat cat Hollywood elites can eat their pizza juice for cheap.
Sure. And can I posit a guess here? First of all, I love it.
Sure.
Can I posit a little bit of a guess here? And go ahead and just tell me if I'm wrong. But I feel like what happened here is you had pizza juice written down as one of your inventions. But then you realize you were on a hot sketch segment. So you go, I got to make pizza juice into a sketch on the fly, and that's what happened. Is that am I close, or what are we working with here?
Well, let me read you exactly what it says. It says, pizza juice. We have the beer pizza juice. Hand squeezed. In the basement, there are Italian slaves.
Oh, so yeah, it is a sketch. Yes.
I need to tell you what the original idea was, and that only came from me floundering because the original idea for pizza juice was juice that's just egg yolk. It's egg yolk that you pour on your pizza. So now you can add egg yolk to your pizza at any time. It's pizza juice. God. And then Ariel gave me no laughs and went, well, it doesn't make any sense. Pizza juice should be pizza juice of pizza. And I went, no, it's egg yolk. I like to put egg yolk on everything. So I want to sell containers of egg yolk, especially that I could put on pizza.
Well, I'll agree with you that I think just egg yolk on the go isn't enticing, but pizza juice leaves a little mystery. I'll say that for the ad campaign at least. Here's where they're wrong again, man. They just don't get the backbone of America, and we're just a bunch of hard-working farm folk that want to squeeze egg yolk, which we make on our farms all over our pizza, but we want to call it pizza juice.
You ever put egg yolk on your pancakes or your bacon in the morning?
No. I've never put it on pancakes. I've done it on bacon for sure. I'm with you on that.
When you're talking cooked, or you're just going wet egg yolk on everything.
Well, that's what the invention is. It's a sustainable wet egg yolk that you can put on anything. But no, it's when you have when you're doing like a lumberjack breakfast at a diner and you get the over easy eggs and the yolk gets everywhere and you're licking that shit up. That's fucking great.
It's right? Cooked yolk. Okay, this is where I was confused. I thought you were just dumping raw egg yolks on your pizza, and I was thinking, I don't know about this. I'll do it because Greg says, but I don't know. But this is way better. This actual cooked egg yolks, this is the pulse of America. This is what people have been waiting for.
The cooked yolk is what makes it pizza juice, because straight yolk is yolk. But once you heat yolk, you cook yolk, you convert it to pizza juice, and everybody knows that. So that's the difference. And then, who you're really going to market this for are high school wrestlers or boxers looking to bulk up before a fight after a weigh-in.
That's huge. That's huge for them.
Yeah,
that's huge. But I also just want to get back to the second, because that's not my. I don't mind selling it to him. I don't. That's really not my problem. Whoever wants to buy it's going to buy it. I'm not going to check IDs. But my people are more fat fucks who, like myself, have said, God damn, I love having a fried egg every morning. Why can't this transfer into other meals? And let me tell you what the Thai people are doing. And by that, I mean my wife only, maybe. They do this fried egg situation on their fried rice. And when you get a little egg yolk in your fried rice, marron.
Yeah. So good. So good.
So I want to bring that hot pizza yolk, that hot pizza juice to every meal, even dessert on ice cream. Put a little hot yolk on your strawberry ice cream.
Man, let me pitch
strawberry, huh?
let me pitch a little.
That's the flavor you went with.
Let me pitch a little idea of my own. I think you had a slip of the tongue, and you said brezert, and I immediately said that's what it should be called. That's more of a sweet, tasty after-dinner treat than dessert. I'm going with brezert because it reminds me of braziers, breasts, things that are a treat for my mouth. So brezert, give me the brezert. Put a little egg yolk on that strawberry ice cream. Shove it down my mouth.
Stumbled into a little bit of unexpected gold in them hills with brezert.
Can I run the package idea by you guys?
Please.
I want you to imagine the Black Power fist. Right?
Yep.
And then you tilt it a little bit.
He said with reluctance in his voice.
And that Black Power fist is squeezing a pizza, and out is a drop of yellow yolk.
Yes.
My God, what a confusing image all around.
Diversity.
I can't think of a more confusing image. Go ahead.
As Jesse Owens always dreamed when he threw that fist up, someday somebody will use this to market cooked egg yolk that somehow stays fucking liquidy.
Yeah, that's draped over ice cream.
Yeah.
That wasn't
juice.
enough.
And that's our slogan. It's pizza juice. It's very confusing. It's a lot of things.
Yeah.
Mostly
Can I
egg
also,
yolk.
can I also say too, Brendan, I know that I love the idea that you thought this was an idea that had to be scaled up to become a sketch. This was a movie, obviously, in Greg's head, that had to be scaled down to become a sketch.
So back to Mortal Kombat.
Well, I want to stop you before
I don't
you
want
do
to give
that.
too much away. Yeah.
Let me tell you something. This egg yolk thing, you could sell that to Papa John's in one sentence. Okay, these guys will buy any dipping sauce you come to them with. You go, I got a Black Power fist. It's made out of plastic. You get egg yolk, and Papa John just goes, yeah, man, of course.
Yeah.
Sold.
Yeah. Of course, and Shaq is running the board now. So if you put they're looking to change their image because of what old Papa said. So I think you'd actually serve the company well. Man, I saw this tweet and I was so upset that I didn't make it. It was a picture of Shaq tampons, and then the tweet said #1 bag chaser in the world.
Wait, what?
About Shaq. It was Shaq, I guess, has his own line of tampons, or
This can't be real.
I don't know, man. Maybe. But I just love the idea of somebody knowing Shaq, never knowing him from basketball, and having conflicting, like, Shaq, the tampon maker? Shaq, you mean the guy who runs Papa John? Like, they just never, he was a basketball player?
I thought it was the military. That was the general, right? I was pretty sure he was a famous military general.
Man.
Yeah. Shaq is a man. That man will sign anything, man.
Yeah, Shaq is you with money, Greg.
Yeah.
It really is.
You talking about Shaq the rapper? Are you talking about the rapper? That guy was good, man.
No, the European DJ.
Yeah, the EDM DJ, and that's real.
Yeah. That guy
man.
barely did basketball. He's like, in comparison to everything else he did.
Yes. Hall of Fame MVP basketball player. It's the last thing you'd know him for.
Right.
7'1". You'd never know him for that.
Created his own fighting style, right?
Shaq Fu.
Shaq Fu, baby.
Shaq Fu.
It's a mystery to me that Shaq never released an exercise tape. That seemed like up his alley that he missed.
I can't imagine that he didn't. You just might not have heard about it. You know?
Yeah, you're
he
probably right.
probably did.
Yeah.
There's this picture that got released one time that was Shaq just laying down on the Lakers plane, and he was wearing sweatpants. Shaq's cock is 14 inches long if it's a centimeter. I mean, it's crazy. You see this picture and you're just like, Jesus Christ. And his wife's like 4'11", and it's just like, what the fuck, man? What do you do? He must have 6 pocket pussies taped together and cut out the ends to even give himself an iota of pleasure.
I see what you're saying. That act as a connector. So he gets to the actual,
So he can actually, so he fucks through that into his wife's pussy, so that it's like the Holland Tunnel. You know what I mean? Like you go through that first, then you're in New York City. That's how Shaq's wife's pussy is New York City in this algorithm.
What you do is you glue a bunch of towels to the sides of your dryer, and then you rip the door off. Turn that dryer on, that thing starts spinning. You pop your penis on there. That'll give you a nice rub and shine. You shine her up. Big dick.
What a ghastly image.
My dick's been rubbed raw. Well, what'd you do? I just put the dryer on high and stuck my dick in a bunch of towels, and it's like, you gotta lube the towels, man. You gotta lube the towel.
Yeah, he's like, just don't look at it.
Yeah,
these things are already unsightly, but it's like Freddy Krueger's face.
Yeah, did you put it on delicate, Shaq? No, that's your fucking problem.
I hate to. Wow, that's a big dick.
His penis is larger than Jimmy Fallon.
Right.
Yeah.
Also, if his penis was small for his size, it would still be the size of an Irish midget. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah.
I can't think of that guy's name. It'd still be Hornswoggle.
Yeah.
You know? Real quick, could you just? I think this is a great idea, and I hate to
Please.
bring it back,
No.
but I really think if you were getting chicken nuggets, and someone was like, "What do you want?" I'd be like, "Give me the barbecue and give me 2 yolks." Right? Dip your chicken nuggets in the yolk and a little side container, little egg yolk.
I like it as an option, Greg. I really do. I don't, and I think you're gonna have to really do a marketing campaign to get it to the level where it's on pace with the other condiments that you regularly see accompanying foods. But I do like it as an option, man. I'm with you.
I'll go a step further.
Doritos, egg yolk style Dorito. It should be on everything.
I'll go a step further. It's such a good idea that I think there must be. And look, we've never claimed to be scientists. Yes, we know a lot about science, but we've never claimed to be. I think there must be something standing in the way of making it possible. Because I think it's such an attractive idea to me. I would be dipping everything in egg yolks. I think they must solidify or something. We've got to get a food scientist who knows how to keep them liquid at room temperature, because I think that must be what's preventing it. Because otherwise, why does this not already exist?
I know why.
Good point.
It's that goddamn heart association that wants people to not have heart attacks every week. They keep getting in my way saying, if you just sell people a gallon of egg yolk, the country's going to be over in a week.
He's right, man. Those rascals will try to impinge upon your rights whenever they get the chance. If we want to die of heart attacks, let's us.
You kept it. I
had
kept
to.
it going, and I
had to, man. Whew, boy, that lets us bailed me out.
Comedian through and through. This whole sentence is going to be plural. Mini character.
I do think you bring up a good point about the coagulation is the issue that we're going to run into here.
Sure.
I think you're like pudding. It'll have a skin on top. I think, but you just peel that off.
Boy. The skin.
Well, yeah, that I love
egg skin.
You can then you can sell that skin separately. I love an egg yolk skin.
I'm on board. I'm back on board.
You could use them to manufacture condoms for people that are allergic to latex. Like those guys that they go, sheepskin condoms don't work. And they go, don't worry, I use egg yolk skin.
Also, how do you like your egg yolk? Do you like? I like with pulp, so it's got all eggshells in it, just crunched up eggshells in that sharp eggshells.
Some shell, no shell. Yeah, man.
I think this is still a good idea. I got to get on Shark Tank.
If anything, I think it's a great yolk.
You cocksucker.
That could be your on the Black Power hand. It just says the company I think should be we're not yoking.
Yeah, pizza juice, we're not yoking.
Yeah.
Pizza juice is so misleading. When you bring that home and you go, the idea of the tasting pizza drink sounds gross, but I had to try it. And then it's all egg yolk, you'd immediately vomit. If you just took a swig, you're like, why is this yellow?
You're going to have to know ahead of time that it's actual. There's going to be so much. Whoever sells it has to explain so much. They have to go, just a heads up so you don't throw up. You're going to be ingesting egg yolk here. But we've called it pizza juice because it's more enticing than egg yolk.
You're
all day egg yolk.
Your primary demographic, you're going to have to market, you're going to have to zero in on bodybuilders from like 1972. That's going to be your like Lou Ferrigno, like back when they used to eat like 3 pounds of cottage cheese and 4 steaks and then go to like for breakfast. You got to market to them.
Folksy training boxers. You're going to have to be like, and from the company that bought you pizza juice comes chicken on a string. With live chicken you chase around your backyard to help you with your quickness.
Yeah, I mean, you guys keep pushing this muscle-bound group of people as the main. I just don't connect with them, so I'd have to get somebody in who knows that group.
Who are you thinking is your demographic?
Like I said, fat fucks, people who are just really fat and don't give a shit about their body, who would put egg yolk on pizza. The guy who tries that for no health reasons, that's my guy. So maybe suicide by eating.
Right. That's what I was going to say. Maybe you want to market this as a pleasurable way to the grave.
Right. Slow, trying to kill yourself, but you don't have the balls to jump off a building. Drink egg yolk every morning. It'll get you, and you'll feel great doing it.
Yeah. I actually say that's a pretty good percentage of the population.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'll tell you this, though. I'm at the meeting. I'm at the big time meeting, and I'm selling these guys. It's pizza juice, guys. They're going to go, you got to stop. You got to call it what it is. Egg yolk. I mean, pizza juice. And I go, okay. what if we call it ice cream covering? Does that work for you? It's egg yolk that covers strawberry ice cream.
Yeah, I love the idea that you're like, the name isn't. The name just needs to get people to the table. So call it whatever you want. The only thing that has to remain, it has to be egg yolk in a tube. But however you get people there, who cares?
I also like how stuck you are on strawberry. I put that on the package. Go ice cream covering, strawberry only. If caught putting on any other ice cream, we take it away.
Yeah, and I'm a man who likes disgust and adventure, but egg yolk and strawberry for me, for some reason, I can't get my head around.
Also, we got to get diverse, right? So I think I'm going to put one of these QR codes on it, and it just says, we support this. And if you scan the Q card, straight gay pornography, right? Just to let people know that we support the community. And when you scan it, you get the hardest core man-on-man sex, just straight coming the whole time. And we go, we stand with these people, people. Right.
This is what makes Greg the eventual CEO of a company like WeWork or something like that. It's this just like constant stream of impossible ideas. And then one, you go, that's not bad.
Yeah.
And then he's a billionaire.
Which one wasn't bad, though? The gay porn or the egg yolk?
The egg, I don't know. I don't even know. I mean, well, that's the other thing too, is you open the window, you shift the Overton window to the point where it's like you got QR codes that are blasting you off to hardcore gay pornography. Now all of a sudden, egg yolk in a tube sounds reasonable.
Yeah. Well, that's the opposite of what Greg's talking about, is a guy who has a bunch of great ideas and then they just let him get away with a crazy idea like Elon Musk, where he's like, I revolutionized electric cars, solar panels, space travel. Also, I'm doing trains and vacuum tubes.
Yeah. You are right about Musk.
And
Musk,
I got
no, some heat checks. Go ahead, Brent.
I got no permits, but I'm building a tube from Los Angeles to Texas. Fuck you, try and stop me.
Yeah, he's gotten away with some bullshit in the past couple of years because of SpaceX.
Yeah.
What has he been getting away with?
The boring companies had more duds than a WB lineup in the 90s.
Yeah, that's fucked up, dude. That's fucked up. WB had some hits. You talking about Animaniacs? That was big.
No, they had some hits. They did.
Deaf Frog?
It was Great Frog. Frog. They had the Parkers. They had a lot of good stuff.
Dawson's Creek. Dawson's Creek was eventually, because didn't the WB change to the CW? They had Dawson's Creek, Gilmore Girls. Right. Come on, that's a hit machine.
So whatever, not WB in the 90s. Don't get hung up on that part.
UPN 9.
Yeah, I'd argue they had some hits.
Sister.
Yeah. They didn't have Sister. Living Single and the Parkers are two hit shows. If you disagree, you are two racists.
What about It's a Different World? That's a good show.
That's a great show.
Dwayne Wayne, who went on to play basketball for the Miami Heat.
Yeah, what a rise that guy had. From Kadeem Hardison to Dwayne Wade.
Just everyone on that show dressed like they were in an Arrested Development video. Isn't that the band's name?
You're right.
Yeah, because then they had a show later, but it's like, you can't name a show. That band's already took the name.
Right.
Oh, Arrested Development. I don't know that Arrested Development, the band, was so big with their hit Tennessee that Fox was like, there's going to be too much confusion, too much Google searching.
Yeah, you say that, but I was confused. I would honestly think that's why they didn't get the 5th season.
They probably went, what idiot will get, and Greg went, right here. Right here. Found enough pizza juice? I have a question.
I remember...
Go ahead, Greg. Go ahead, Greggy.
I just want to say there was this one episode of A Different World that I don't know. The only thing I remember about the show is that one of the girls was trying to be a doctor, and she hated the other guy because I think he wanted to be a comedian. And I remember there's still one line in the show. She is like, "You're doing nothing, and I'm out there trying to save lives." And he goes, "But what are you saving them for?" As if like his comedy was his comedy was the reason you need to stop heart disease. You know what I mean? I just remember that being so egotistic, like so crazy. I mean, now it's like sometimes people will message you and that's why comedians I think get egos, because fans message them and go, "You're my medicine," or they say things and then you go, "I am doing important shit." It's like, I don't know, man. That's all I really had on that.
That's why that Doug Stanhope joke is one of my favorites, where he's talking about abortion and he goes, "Man, I don't understand how it's still up in the air. Don't they know I cured that 4 specials ago?" It's like the greatest, distillation of like, it's what we do. is just art. It's not it's not a complete civil service.
Right.
Yeah, I do have to mention real quick. I think this is going to come out Tuesday, so tonight, we're doing a live episode, our second to last ever. We don't know what happens down the road, but our second to last ever official Rad DudeCast live episode. That's tonight at 8:30 Eastern Standard Time for those $10 and above subscribers. Fucking come in. It's the second to last time you'll ever see our faces.
Yeah, that's true. Brendan does bring up a good point about, who knows? We like I said, we are still friends, and who knows if just a Rad DudeCast episode pops into your feed 6 months down the road or something like that for no real rhyme or reason. So don't rule that out.
Right. And can you please just let them know that I'm not the reason the podcast is ending?
No,
Greg is the reason the podcast is ending.
In all honesty, we're fucking with you. The podcast is not ending for any other reason than we've been doing it a long time, and we're very happy with the product. And it's like, you don't need to go forever. We did a good job. Like, we're all a little burnt out on it. We all have other things we'd like to work on. We're all still great friends. Like, we love you guys. We respect you guys, but we also don't want to give you less than our best. So we're kind of like, you know what? This is the time for it to end. And it's been great. And undoubtedly, the three of us will work on something at some point in the rest of our careers, but nobody fucked anybody's wife. No, Laugh Button didn't do anything. Greg's not Beyonce. We honestly just kind of all three felt similarly that, it ran its course. And man, I'm really proud of what we've done. Really, really proud of what we've done. A lot of content we put out there with no planning.
Yeah, and I thought that summed it up very well. And I just want to say how thankful we are for you guys throughout the years for all your support. Really never thought we would get a single fan from this. So the fact that people showed up with meat and potatoes from a dumb bit that we did, really, it was amazing. And just want to say back to what Brendan said, man, there are a lot of episodes and a lot of them are on that Patreon still. So if you need a fix,
yeah,
you could pay $5 and have I don't know, probably 300 additional Rad DudeCast episodes for you.
300.
Yeah, I think it's a lot, man. We did a lot this year. We did 4 a week, 3 a week, man.
3? Yeah, it can be 300. Just by 10.
It's not. There's probably 200 to 250 additional content if you've never subscribed to the Patreon. Wow. That it would be a whole new podcast for you.
In May, I really do want to figure out total episodes and total time we've done the Rad DudeCast, because it's a fucking lot, man. We've done a lot of episodes of this show, a lot.
Yeah.
And I'd like for Greg to bring it on home.
Whoa, wow! I don't have to say goodbye because I'm gonna keep going. The thing doesn't. If you're here for the Greg only content, this thing you're not even gonna. This is not even a trip. This is probably gonna be way too much content now. These guys are cutting me off the reins. I already wrote a script to be read on the Patreon. I've got Greg's high movies. I got so many dumb things. So keep tuned in here. I'm sure Brendan and Anthony will pop in. I don't know. I'm not 100% confident that when this thing ends, they're not just going to be like, yeah, we never really liked you.
Well, that's
don't defend
true.
yourselves on that. Yeah, you could.
I love you.
You could come in quicker with that, I guess. But
I'm the one.
Yeah, Brendan, go ahead. Please.
I'm the one who called you both and made you reassure me this wasn't a trick just to fire me, and that you weren't going to just have the Rad DudeCast keep going with the two of you. So yeah, we all are.
We didn't confirm or deny that. We just talked about how cute your baby was.
Such a cute baby, little Liza. Yeah, no, Greg, that is not. I like you so much. It's just I can't get out of this Paramount deal for this 2-picture film with Mortal Kombat as Sub-Zero. So that's it. That's the bones of it up from my end.
Bone it up.
No, that's all. As Porky Pig might say, eat shit and die. Thanks so much for listening.
As Porky Pig would say, one more month, folks. But yeah, man, everyone knows that I love you guys and I love all the fans. And I'm so great. It's crazy. I just want to say I've said this to people specifically, and they've unfollowed me because I think I'm too vulnerable. But I'm like, you have no idea how little and how crippling my self-esteem can be, and how this podcast and like people messaging me and just talking to me has made me believe in comedy and that I'm actually good at this, or medium at this, a medium man, Mr. Medium.
Oh man, Greg couldn't even his self-esteem pitch was laden with self-esteem problems.
Yeah. No, but yeah, it's like for real. That really does boost you in a world where no one's really giving you like when you not to sound weird, but like, and I've done things, right? Like I've had some success, I've had success that a lot of people would be very happy to have. But as far as like what I wanted to have, everything on my list of things to get done, I've gotten none of them. I've gotten all this other things that randomly happened that you refuse to let your self-esteem accept, right? It's like, well, the America's Got Talent thing wasn't the thing I wanted. It happened and it was cool. The Michelle Wolf show was like things that I didn't want, but just happened and were cool. But it was like, I wanted it. If by the time I'm 30, I'm going to be on Conan or I'm quitting, was what I said. and none of that happened. So when that things don't happen, you start having to looking other places for satisfaction, if that's the right word. And for me, it was like fans showing up, Ben Wyatt getting a tattoo of characters we've done. Like that's crazy.
Now, those guys are going to be furious.
Right, he's got a cute crab on his or his arm. No way. I think that good. More people should have done that. You'd be furious if you didn't. And I'd be remiss also to not mention Mike and how great he's been over the past year.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, I guess we also have to thank Dan Harumi.
Of course, thank Harumi, man, and follow him and Becky.
And the only real success to come out of this podcast, Ugly Dan. Old jump shot himself.
That's true.
Really, the only guy that made it. If you don't know, he's sold a show to Showtime. Flatbush Misdemeanors looks hilarious. The only success was jump shot.
In the midst of all this, Ugly Dan has a Showtime show coming out next month, which will probably run it'll be a long-running success.
Yeah.
This is a thing that's also great too, is a lot of times you meet people who like have TV shows and you feel a little weird. It's so great with him because he has a TV show and he called me and I went, I don't think this thing's going to be any good. You can be so there was never a power change with Jump Shot. It's just like this feeling of just like shitting on a guy who has his own Showtime show feels good.
Yeah.
I think everyone should try it.
Yeah, send Ugly Dan a message saying
no, don't.
He's still a piece of shit.
No, don't. That's just such a sweet and great guy, and I always still feel bad about calling him Ugly Dan. Although Jump Shot, if you didn't have Ugly Dan, you wouldn't have Jump Shot. Now that's the best goddamn nickname you could.
Exactly. You needed Ugly Dan to get to Jump Shot.
Right.
Yeah, so
like a caterpillar to a butterfly.
Yeah.
Just like one. All right. So we'll see you guys tonight.
I'll be in Wichita all week at the Looney Bin if you guys want to come. And then I'm going to go home and see my fucking baby.
All right.
Yeah.
We'll see you later.
The Rad DudeCast is hosted by Anthony DeVito, Brendan Eyre, and Greg Stone. Original music by Brian Zippert. Produced by Mike Suarez. Executive producers Brendan Eyre, Greg Stone, and Anthony DeVito. Executive producers Matt Kleinschmidt and Robert Kelly for the Laugh Button Podcasts.